Hello everyone! Today we're going to deal with speaking, and more exactly with a given situation such as expressing surprise, agreeing or disagreeing, asking for information, making decisions, organizing a place to live, and lastly, suggesting. Now, when expressing surprise, knowing how to express excitement is very important both in formal and informal language. Below, you will find some expressions that we could use to express surprise. For example, I can't believe it, I'm so excited, that's amazing or unbelievable or incredible, really or seriously. You can use the structure what plus an plus an adjective and a noun. For example, what great news. Or you can use how plus adjective or an adverb plus a clause. For example, how well she dances. And you can also use equal questions with a rising intonation. For example, I can't ride a motorbike. Can't you? The next situation when speaking is when agreeing, disagreeing, and making suggestions about something. Now, I want you to imagine about a situation such as this one. You and your friend have to decide on what to watch on TV, but you have different opinions. Now, how do you react? What would you say so that you can agree? Now, when agreeing or making a suggestion, you can use the following expressions. You can say, I'd love to, that's a great idea, sounds good, that's fine by me, why not, I couldn't agree more, let's, shall we could, or why don't we? When disagreeing or rejecting something, you can use the words or expressions such as, I don't know, or I'm not really sure, I kind of like it, but, well, if you don't mind, I'm not really in the mood for, I see what you mean, or I can see your point, but I agree with you, but I'm not sure about. Please do bear in mind that when you're not sure about a suggestion your partner makes, feel free to express your reservation. You should, however, do this in a polite way and explain why you think differently. Asking for information is some of the situations that we encounter every day. Now, when asking for information, there are many situations, and it can sometimes be as simple as asking for the time or as complicated as asking for details about a complicated process. In both cases, it's important to use the appropriate form of the situation. Now, I want you to think or imagine a situation like this one. You and your American teacher are studying at an American university. Now, because you were sick yesterday afternoon, you missed the class when your teacher announced the exam. Now, you phone her and ask him for the information, such as when the exam will be given, which chapter of the text the exam will cover, how many questions there will be, how long the exam will last, etc. Now, which are the phrases, the questions, or the sentences you can use in a similar situation? Now, it depends on whether the situation is formal, a little bit more formal, or a more complicated form. For each of them, you can find the following phrases to use. Now, for very formal situation, which means with friends, family, etc., you can say, or you can use the WH questions, when, what, etc., or the how questions. You can say, do you know, or I'm looking for, or have you got an idea of? In more formal situations, such as in stores, with colleagues, etc., you can use, excuse me, can or could you tell me, plus a WH question or how question. Or you can say, I was wondering, could you tell me, do you happen to know? And lastly, the more complicated forms, which are used with important people, your boss, on job interviews, etc. Similar expressions could be, I wonder if you could tell me, or would you happen to know, or would you mind if... Now, when organizing a place to live, you have to bear in mind and to imagine different situations. Now, please imagine this one. There has been an increase in the number of burglaries in your area. The people in your block of flats have called a meeting to decide on security measures you can take to protect yourself and your property. Now, first discuss how effective the measures are, and then choose two of the proposals to put forward. Here you have some examples or ideas on which you can think of. Now, how effective are these security measures? Think of starting a neighborhood watch scheme, or installed CCTV in the whole building, or install a burglar alarm on the main entrance of the building, or another precaution would be hire private security to patrol the area at night, or a last one, install iron bars on ground windows. Now, in such situations, think of these given examples and please give arguments for your choice. In similar discussions, please do bear in mind the following. Everyone should have equal opportunity to speak. You shouldn't interrupt your partner while he or she is speaking unless they're dominating the conversation, not allowing you to have your say. Similarly, make sure that you do not do the same and keep the conversation going as an active dialogue. This was all we had prepared for you on this speaking unit. Thank you everyone for your attention.